Hi Comets, welcome back from the break and welcome to our very first Sportscast of the semester.
I'm Sam Bustillos.
And I'm Hannah Steiner.
Let's get right into it. So right now, Hannah, the basketball season is in full swing. Our basketball teams are doing fairly well right now. So
I think they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, so right now the men's team is 5-5 in the conference, 10-5 overall. They're playing actually right as we film, so we'll know after this what happens. They're playing against UT Tyler, but hopefully they come out with a win. So right now we have one key player in particular, senior guard Raphael Farley is actually tied the school record with 40 points in one game against UMHB on the 17th. It was a great game for him.
Really
unfortunately, UTD is still lost. They've had a bit of a slump the past few games.
They've really been struggling on the road mainly.
Yeah, but Farley is still actually leads the conference right now with 22.2 points per game. One of the reasons that we may be in a little bit of slump right now is because we lost one of our key players, senior guard Nolan Harvey. Yes. So
yeah, I heard about that. Didn't he break his hand?
Yeah. So last Thursday he actually broke his hand, and he'll be out for the next few weeks. Interestingly enough, he was already playing with a torn ACL. So losing him, even though he's playing through that, was a huge loss. He's the third leading scorer on the team with 11.1 points per game.
That's rough for your senior season too. Hopefully he can come back to really finish strong. And
not only was he the third leading scorer, but he was leading the conference in assists with 4.5 assists per game.
Truly a team player.
Yeah. One of the key stats that's made the Comets successful this season when they've won is that they're actually hitting more threes right now than they ever have in the history of the program. Right. So right now they're hitting a conference record 387 from the three-point line, and they've made 147 threes on the season. So it's definitely been a good look for the Comets so far when it's come to hitting from the three-point line.
That's awesome. And if you want to hear more about that, you can check out the Mercury next week, right? There's going to be an article on our Comets threes prowess.
Right. So going on to the women's basketball team, one of the key aspects for them is they've been really great on defense. They're only allowing 55.5 points per game. They're currently ranked second in AFC with a 9-2 conference record and 13-3 overall. They just lost, unfortunately, to UT Tyler. They lost 69-59 just a few minutes ago. So it was, It
was a hard-fought game, but at the end they were just trailing.
Yeah, they got in a bit of a ditch there that they really just couldn't get out of, which happens, unfortunately. They're actually led right now by senior guards Amber Brown, Christina Brosnahan, and Maddie Hess. Hess actually had a great game at the beginning of the semester.
She's had a great season, really, but that game was incredible. She hit the really hard feat, or she almost hit the really hard feat of a triple-double. You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so a triple-double, for those who may not be in the know, is when you hit double digits in three statistics in basketball. Usually that's points, rebounds, and assists. So for Hess against ETBU on January 8th, she hit 23 points, she grabbed 11 boards, and she dished 9 assists against the Tigers. Now, if she had one more assist, that would have been the first triple-double in women's sports history. So it was a great game for her. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to nab the triple-double.
Maybe she'll be able to pull that off before she graduates,
but
hopefully.
It was definitely a good look for her. I know baseball and softball are starting up soon.
Oh, baseball and softball are starting strong. They began practice this week, and things are looking pretty good for the Comets. The ASC polls came out recently predicting where they would place by the end of the season and going into the tournaments and such. And baseball, they were predicted at second, which is a big deal as the ASC is very, very hard. Like it's hard to compete in the ASC. It's a very competitive group.
And then women's, they're not as high right now.
They're at 6, so they're middle of the pack, but I think they'll do pretty well. They don't have the record that the men's team does.
Well, and the softball team actually, they only have a few seniors. They didn't do so well last year. It was a bit of a struggle, so they're in a bit of a rebuilding mode right now. So hopefully they'll come back strong this semester.
Right. Well, hopefully they can be like baseball. Baseball has had 14 winning seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Ever since Coach Shoemake came here. So hopefully they can keep that
Yes.
going, and hopefully softball will match that too.
The other big storyline that we were talking about is, I know that the conference all academic teams just came out, and we did really well on those.
I mean, of course, UTD students are
Yeah.
some of the smartest in our conference.
Right.
Actually, we had the same amount as previous semesters, which is really, really good, seeing as it was 50 students named to the all-academic list, and it only has 350. So we're doing pretty well.
Right.
Doing pretty well.
Right. Well, besides Comet Sports, the big thing that everybody's talking about right now is NFL. Do you watch football, Hannah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I won my league.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I know you're big into fantasy. So fantasy season's over, but the finale for the real season is coming up. So for those who don't know, the conference championship games between the AFC and the NFC, the two conferences in the NFL, were on Sunday.
Yep.
So the Patriots beat the Indianapolis Colts 45-7 in their conference game, while the Seattle Seahawks won in one of the most amazing games I've ever seen.
That's pretty close.
Against the Packers, 28-22. Did you watch it?
Sadly, no.
Okay. So for anybody who didn't watch it, or if you live under a rock, let me give you a quick recap of what happened. So essentially, Seattle was not doing well at all. It was not going their way until the fourth quarter, when they managed in the last 3 minutes to score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, get the onside kick, and then keep the Packers from scoring to take it to overtime.
They definitely earned their place in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So now what do you think? Tell me about Deflategate. What is your opinion on Deflategate?
So for Deflategate, this is what's kind of been going on. So during the game against the Colts, the Patriots, it looked like they were doing something weird with the footballs on the sideline. And the NFL investigated, and they found that 11 of the footballs that the Patriots used
of the 12,
of the 12, they only have 12 footballs that they bring with them they play, were actually underinflated. Now, you would think that's not a big deal, but what happens is that when they were playing, it was a very, very cold game. It was wet and rainy. And the Patriots quarterback, Tom Brady, obviously you want a competitive advantage, right? So when you deflate it, it's easier to grip. You can throw it. It's better that way. So when they went and they investigated it, they did find that 11 of their footballs were underinflated. Yeah, it's what? Once is coincidence, twice is happenstance, 11 times like, oh my God.
11 times is Deflategate.
Yeah, 11 times is Deflategate. So the entire organization is essentially under investigation right now. Coach Bill Belichick, the Patriots head coach, actually had a press conference earlier this day, and he didn't really seem like he knew that much about what was going on.
Oh, sure.
I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but it's going to be sure to have some consequences on the Patriots. It's looking like right now they could be losing some draft picks.
Right. I mean, if they don't end up with a fine. Because, you know, the NFL's been pretty fine-happy this year. So that's Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. That's the Seattle's running back who's known to not be very press-friendly. And who's gotten some fines. I wouldn't want him as a guest. Right. Who's gotten some fines for not talking to the press. But I know we're going to do a more in-depth Super Bowl preview later, but what are your thoughts for Super Bowl?
I mean, Patriots, that was just an incredible win. Okay, it was easy for them.
Yeah.
That was an easy game for them. The Balls might have had something to do with it, but if not, I mean, they've got the talent. They've got Belichick. Like, he's a strong coach. You know, he might be a little bit controversial, but Patriots are in it to win it. Yeah.
See, I'm kind of leaning towards Seattle. Those last few minutes of the game were basically remember the Titans in real life. So, I don't know. I don't think you can pick against them. I think there's something going on there that's somebody's looking out for them. So I think they'll be taking home the Lombardi Trophy.
Well, either way, you know they're going to work pretty hard to get there.
So once again, there's definitely a lot going on in sports, not only here, but obviously outside in the real world. So we'll be sure to be bringing you every up-to-date detail, analysis, and breaking news sports feature that we can here at UTD TV Sports.
All right. I think that's about it. I mean, definitely tune in next week to UTD News so that we can tell you all a little bit more about our Super Bowl predictions and duke it out with a few other members.
For UTD TV Sports, I'm Sam Bustillos.
And I'm Hannah Steiner.